Wow, I'm so happy to be here. We got John Cooper trapped up in the room with Joyce and I. How are you, John?
I'm doing great. How are you, ladies?
Well, we're doing all right.
Finally got him behind closed doors.
I know. And in the same room. Joyce, you're usually over in Studio A.
I know. I'm feeling pretty nice right now sitting
Well,
next to him.
Pretty
Okay,
jazzed.
you're gonna have to step away from the John.
That's okay.
Anyway, we have you out, and it is an afternoon, and we thought we'd do a little recording
Yeah.
with you because we've got something new coming up. But
Yeah.
yet it's old.
Well, it's been around. It's a shifting of locations, actually.
Yeah. And we're talking about the third Thursday, that's sometimes fourth Thursday,
Right.
and just any Thursday. Is
Yeah,
that the
well,
way that
you
works,
know,
John?
it's been various Thursdays, but usually the third Thursday. That's what we shoot for. You know, and I'll just go through a quick history for the past 3 years. We've been doing the third Thursday concert series at the Cushing Country Club, of which KUSH has been a proud sponsor, and I always really appreciated that. But we're moving it. The country club is sold, as I'm sure most everyone knows, and going through some remodeling and fixing up out there. And so for at least the next 6 months, we're going to be at the Tidewater Winery over in Drumright. I'm very excited about the move to the new location.
You didn't want to stop, did you?
No, well, you know, and this is honest. When I found out it sold, and the folks over there said, you know, we're gonna have to quit doing it because we're gonna remodel. I thought, well, you know, this is it. We had a 3-year run. It was great. It's all good things come to an end. But the folks at Tidewater were pretty adamant about wanting to keep it going. They enjoyed it. They came to the club and saw what we were doing there, and said, hey, we want you to continue it. So we were able to work it out to where that's what's happening. We've just shifted over to Drumright, and very excited about being there. I love the room there. Beautiful spot. And, you know, I'm glad it's not going to stop. I've
Yeah.
had a lot of fun with this series.
Now, great guests that you've had throughout the years, and you'll continue to have those, I would
Yes.
assume.
Well, man, we've had some of the top, you know, musicians in Oklahoma, I think, and really in some of the top musicians in the country. We've had John Fulbright, we've had Mike McClure, we've had Jesse Aycock, who tours with a band now called the Hardworking Americans all over the country. We've had Carter Sampson. She tours all over the country. Just a whole
Well, don't
variety.
forget that crazy Bo Phillips.
Oh, yeah. Our old pal Bo.
Let's see, Kirsten and Eliza B.
Chuck
and
Dunlap.
Dunlap, yeah.
Gosh, man, Tom Skinner several times.
And a staple's always Gene Collier and Rick Riley.
Love having those guys.
And that Craig.
And that Craig Skinner
Oh,
guy.
and I love Craig too. I've known all those guys a very long time, and those 3 guys are my heroes. As a matter of fact, I love those guys to death, and appreciate their help with the series. But no, we've been fortunate to have some really great musicians come in, and I think that's what the Tidewater people saw, and they just wanted to continue to bring, you know, really good quality original music to the Cimarron Valley area.
Yeah, well, we're glad you're doing
Oh
it.
man, me too.
And KUSH is going to be a continued sponsor.
Oh, awesome.
And we've
I knew you would.
picked up a few more
Yeah.
along the way, I think.
Well, you know, I'm very excited that, of course, next door to Tidewater is Joseph's Fine Foods, the steakhouse, which has great food. They're going to be supplying the food and the catering for the event. And, you know, it's just going to be, I think it's a step up. I really do. They really want to put an emphasis on the music, and not to say that they didn't at the country club, because they did, and they really embraced that series as well and was very appreciative of that. But this is just kind of a new lease on life, kind of see what happens with it.
Yeah, a little fresh face.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
And at my age, I could use one.
Well, you know, change is the only constant, right?
Isn't that
it's
the
just
truth?
the way it is.
Now, recently, we saw you with a couple of Red Dirt greats in Stillwater. And you kind of got roped in at the last minute, didn't you?
I
Tell
did.
us about that.
Well, they put on a tour, a small tour of Oklahoma. They played in Tulsa, Tahlequah, Stillwater, and Oklahoma City. And they being they call it the pioneers of Red Dirt, and that was Chuck Dunlap, Randy Crouch, and Tom Skinner, and another three of my heroes. I have a lot of heroes, but those three guys definitely are. And I went to the Stillwater show because I live in Payne County, of course, and was going to go represent the Red Dirt Relief Fund, of which I'm on the board of, to sell some T-shirts and talk about the fund. And about an hour before the show, Tom Skinner was unable to make it because of some medical issues that came up for him, and was asked to sit in at the last minute. So I was a little intimidated because I didn't go to play. I went to go, hang out and represent the fund and just have a good evening. But it turned out to be a great, wonderful evening of music for me as well. I had a blast.
And the venue over there, that was beautiful.
Yes, it is. It's called the Backstage, and anybody that knows Stillwater from the old days, it was the old Aggie Theater at the corner of 7th and Main Street in downtown Stillwater, and the back end of it has been turned into a venue, not necessarily a venue, but more of I think it's a gentleman bought it and kind of turned it into his personal,
Party place?
Yeah, let's put it that way. Party place. But it is beautiful. There's Warhol prints on the wall and some really outstanding art that he's collected from around the world. And quite a wine collection he's got there, as a matter of fact, as well.
Oh, I missed that part.
Oh, man. Well, it was locked up. So people like me couldn't get to it.
Rightfully so.
But no, it's a great place, and I hope that they'll start doing events over there.
Yeah, I do too, because we were pleasantly surprised.
Yeah.
Didn't know where we were going exactly. And then when we got there and saw what it was like, wow, this is a little hidden treasure.
Yeah, absolutely. It was beautiful.
And it was a great night. Of course, you were playing with one of my heroes, Chuck Dunlap.
My heroes. She has a crush. She is in love with Chuck Dunlap.
She's not alone.
Do you have a man crush on him?
No, but I just know lots of women that have a crush on Chuck.
His wife's okay with it. It's all right.
I have a musical crush on Chuck.
Okay, that's what you call that.
I guess so.
It's not a bromance?
No, it's a musance. I don't know. No, I love Chuck, and I've known him forever. And man, he's one of the really good guys. And we're so glad to have him back in Payne County.
Yeah,
it's great to have him
back. I learned
back.
something about him and the song "Lone Chimney" while we were at that.
Yeah.
I
didn't realize he was a co-writer.
He
of
was.
Lone Chimney.
In fact, he started the song. I'll give you the quick what for. He was working on my house doing some carpentry work, and he and I were both working on it. And it rained one day, and I left and did some errand, and I came back, and he was in the middle of writing a song. And next thing I knew, I was sitting down and writing it with him. And then Brad Piccolo showed up, and he started adding some stuff. And, next thing you know, you got a song. So the really strange thing was after we finished it, it's like, man, that was cool, co-writing a song with you, Chuck. And he said, that's the first time I've ever written a song with anyone.
And he said that.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it. I mean, the guy's been writing songs for 40 years.
Yeah.
He never had a co-write. So we got to do the first co-write ever with Chuck Dunlap, which, that's a double honor.
No kidding.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's one for the books.
Yes.
And that version's just a little different than the one on your album.
Yes, Chuck swing jazzes it a little bit more, which is cool. I love that version too. That's the beauty of writing a song and having different people interpret it their way. Mm-hmm. That's the way he felt it. So, hey, man, it was all good.
I'll tell you, and not to just keep harping on Chuck Dunlap, but anyway, yeah.
I understand.
The song that he did that was a cappella at first.
Yeah, the gospel tune.
Yes.
Beautiful tune.
And then he surprised me because he said he rarely gets to sing, or he doesn't usually sing that at events, or,
right?
At shows.
That's what was really cool about that tour, because we all did songs, and I was only on it one of the 4 nights, but that night is the one I can speak to. I got to do songs that I don't normally do with my band, and could talk about the songs and the process of songwriting, because it was a listening concert. Mm-hmm. It wasn't a bar. It wasn't an event that something else was going on, that people came there to hear the music, and they wanted to hear those stories. And that's what made it, I think, such a special night and event that, you know, we were able to really dissect the songs for people and talk about the inspiration and how it went down. And, you know, if you're really into music and really into songwriting, those are the kind of things you want to see.
Yeah.
To me,
Yeah.
as a fan.
And it was great to see the different people there. I checked out the audience.
Sure.
You know, and you had all ages.
Yes.
And they were all enjoying themselves.
Yes.
And that's going to be one of the great things when you are performing, is to look out there and see people really enjoying themselves.
No, absolutely. And it's also one of the most terrifying to know that everyone is absolutely focused on you and what you're saying and what you're doing and playing. I mean, you know, in a bar, there's always somebody breaking a glass, or the bartender is doing something, or the
there's
bar.
a fight going
Yeah,
on.
there's other distractions. But in those kind of settings, man, you know, everything is focused on you, so you got to really up your game, and I think it brings out a better performance from the performers when you're put into that situation. You want to be the very best that you can.
Now, also on the stage with you guys was a bass player and a drummer. I didn't catch the drummer's name.
Rusty.
That's
is
Rusty?
and I can't recall his last name. He's played with Chuck for a long number of years over in Tulsa.
Okay.
Since Chuck moved back to Oklahoma.
And then there was Annie Payne.
Yes.
Love her.
Love.
I
Annie's the
know.
greatest, man. She's such a great player. You know, it's a great story that Annie and her sister Bonnie, do you know Bonnie? She's in
Not yet.
She's in a group called Elephant Revival.
Yeah,
they tour the country, and they've been overseas, and they're doing big things. So Annie and Bonnie and their cousin Sarah was the drummer. They were Randy Crouch's band. When they
Oh,
were
Randy
like,
must have loved that.
oh man, well, I mean, here it is. These three young, really pretty girls come out, and then here comes Randy. You know, it was quite a sight, and he really whipped them into being good players. I mean, you know, Bonnie will tell you he's the reason I'm doing what I'm doing, and Annie too. And Sarah, she still continues to play drums, and she's really good. And those years with Randy, they spent about 2 years as his main band. You know, he really taught them how to be musicians, how to, you know, wing things on the fly, how to, you know, just be in front of people. So I don't know if he did them a service or a disservice.
Well, he certainly made some memories.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And they're great. And we love the Payne girls. I mean, I've known those girls since they were, you know, teenagers, and great players and just great people.
Well, we thought it was so cool that Annie was playing the bass like that, because
yeah.
you typically don't think of women playing bass. I mean, we don't.
Yeah, I mean, actually, women. I don't mean to make this, you know, gender specific, but there's a lot of women fiddle players and bass players. I don't know why. It just seems to fall that way, that they are drawn to those instruments. I don't know why, but Annie's great.
Yeah.
I mean,
well, what
she's
did I
got
know?
chops.
I
man.
thought that those were they were rarer.
No, they're around. You'll see quite
You
a
just
few.
don't get out much, Mom.
That's it. I need to get out
Now,
much.
one thing I learned, I knew Randy was a phenomenal fiddle player. Had no idea he could play the guitar.
Oh,
He could.
man.
And when he did Big Shot Rich Man, I had only heard Bolin.
Sure.
And when he did Big Shot Rich Man, I was just like, as soon as that music played, I knew the song immediately. But man, to see him on the guitar, I was just
Yeah, I'd never seen him play the guitar. I knew he played guitar, but that night was
Oh, he's amazing.
Was
He's
magical.
a great guitar player. Also a great steel guitar player, as well as plays keyboard. I know he plays mandolin, bass. Randy's one of those guys that he can play just about anything that you can play. He just picks it up and starts making music. Fulbright.
yeah. Wait, I like how you
That's
say
exactly
Fulbright's
what I was
name.
thinking about.
Yeah. No, John's that way as well. What a talented young man he is, for sure.
Yes.
So proud of him, man.
Well, we're really happy that you are continuing to have guests, just like we've been talking about.
Yeah.
Now going to be at Tidewater Winery.
Yes.
Wait, was that good grammar? I don't think so, but whatever.
We can edit it
we are,
later.
yeah, we are now
You can
going
fix
to
it.
have you.
You can fix it in the mix, as they say.
Just let it go.
But no, I'm really excited about it, and I think this will be a great move. just to kind of get a change of locale. And got a new PA system that we're going to unleash on that room.
Well, and it'll be really awesome too as the weather gets better to take it outside.
Absolutely. Can't wait to take it
Oh.
outside. Put it out there on that deck
Yes.
on some nice spring and summer nights. And no, it's going to be a lot of fun. I love that location. Joseph's being, supplying the food is going to be awesome. I'll just plug it real quick. You can go to tidewaterwinery.com for a lot of the information on what's going on out there. We'll have a listing of who's going to play each month. You can also find them on the Facebooks. They're right there.
Facebook?
Yeah.
Is that kind of like Walmart's?
That's kind of like Walmart's. And then you can also contact them at 918-352-4900. They have information on tickets. And I'm sure that stuff will be on the website. It'll all be cross-pollinated. So those are the ways you contact the folks at Tidewater Winery. And really looking forward to being a part of what's going on out there.
Well, we're looking forward to all the fun too, John. And thanks for coming by today and visiting with us.
Why not? Hey, man, beautiful day. And what better to do than be on the radio? And I have a face made for radio. And so I feel very comfortable here.
Well, it's kind of like being at home, isn't it?
Kinda.
Kind of like being home with the Kush Girls.
It is being at home with the Kush Girls, which I do enjoy doing.
Every morning, every afternoon, every night.
Sure. Can't get enough.
Get enough of the Kush Girls?
That's
Is that what you
it.
said?
Absolutely.
Well, thanks again, John, for coming out and visiting with us. And we'll see you at Tidewater Winery.
Yes.